Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Love Spell, and we're going to get our endings today! Okay, so, let's just jump right in, because I don't know how long this is going to take. So, we are starting episode 11, Dusk and Dawn, and as we remember, he's forgotten us! Okay. As I run out through the hospital's front doors, I catch a glimpse of Marcelo's back, turning a corner in the distance. Marcelo, wait! Suddenly, a hand yanks me back, and I turn around to stare into Sergio's furrowed brow. Spacey, wait. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's not acting like himself right now. I can't let you go after him like this. I want a war has officially broken out. Sergio loves us. I'm sorry, he's the sweetest fucking thing. I love him. Look, if he seriously doesn't remember you, he might even be capable of hurting you. Or worse, if you run into Valentino. I shake my head defiantly as I pull my arm back. Damn it, I lost my hat so soon! I zoomed up too fast. Ah, man. Like 1 minute fucking in. This is the worst. No, I don't care. I have to go after him, Sergio. This is the worst day ever. Kidding, but... Without another word, I turn on my heel and run in the direction Marcelo left. I was trying to put it on his head, but I pushed out too far. Oh, man. The disappointment is strong in myself. That's the fastest we've ever lost the hat, okay? Jesus. I run down street after street as fast as my legs can take me, looking everywhere for any sign of Marcelo. I rush past police officers running by, sirens blaring as they usher innocent citizens off the streets. Several store display TVs broadcast scenes of vicious riots and fights breaking out in different parts of the world. What appears to be an all-out gang war between two massive underground organizations has come up to the surface. Casualties are being reported in by the dozens as cities all over the world tremble in fear. The military is said to be preparing a counterattack to gain control over the unfolding and increasingly intense situation, but right now officials are urging everyone on the streets to seek shelter immediately. I run faster and faster as sirens blare in the background of my once quiet, peaceful town. As I turn in an alley, I spot a familiar large back disappearing around the corner at the other end. Marcelo! I run at my top speed down the alleyway, and as I turn left, I suddenly crash into another figure and fall to the floor from the forceful impact. Oh, ow, what the hell? Feels like I ran into a wall. My eyes widen at the realization, and I quickly whip my head up. My voice cuts off and my eyes widen as I stare into the smiling face of a familiar old woman, built like a tank.
My, what's the rush? Hello again, dearie.
My eyes widen as I stare up at the familiar face. She slowly extends a hand out to me as she smiles. I take the hand and I lift myself up as I continue to stare at her in awe. It's you!
Why, yes it is. Were you expecting someone else? Now, tell me, what's got you in such a frenzied state? That's how accidents happen, don't you know? Why, I've even vividly recall someone once telling me to make sure to watch where I was going.
I'm sorry, it's just, I'm in a hurry. I'm looking for someone and...
Oh, but you're hurt, my dear.
Huh? I look down to see that I scraped my knee during the fall and blood is currently seeping out of the wound. I'll be fine. Oh, I didn't even notice.
Well, now, that just simply won't do. Settle down for a few minutes while I tend to your knee, dearie.
But I open my mouth to complain, but the witch clears her throat while shooting me a look that shuts me right up. After a brief pause, she smiles at me. The witch reaches into her bag and pulls out two miniature toy chairs that fit in her hand. She blows on them for a few seconds, and I watch in awe as they grow before my eyes to become life-size.
And now then, why don't you take a seat while I bandage that for you? And you can tell me about why you're in such a hurry,
I stare at my now disinfected and bandaged knee as the witch shakes her head.
Oh my, quite the perilous adventure you've gotten yourself wrapped up in this time, my dear.
I stand up and I turn to stare at her with pleading eyes. I have to find him. This isn't just about me or my feelings anymore. It's about so much more than that. Innocent people are getting hurt because of this meaningless fighting, and I have to find a way to protect them. The witch narrows her eyes at me as a smile plays at the corner of her lips.
Well, well, quite the hero you've turned out to be, Tell me, have you always been so passionate about justice, my dear?
Passionate? I don't know if that's the best way to put it at this point, but I know that I just can't sit around and do nothing anymore, and not while there's people out there getting hurt. I finish in a flurry, swallowing nervously as the witch's gaze becomes increasingly intense, as if she were gazing into my soul. But just as fast as it happens, her expression morphs back to one of amusement as she claps her hands together.
Oh, you certainly have changed, my dear. But that spark for helping others still remains and burns brighter than ever, I see. It gladdens me to hear you say those things, dearie. Why, you even sound like a dashing hero from one of those old fairy tale books.
Sorry, just kidding. Just doesn't fit her, but it's funny as hell. You're right, I have changed. I've never felt this way before, but I want to protect people that I care about. No matter what it takes. I'm not afraid, just as long as I can help someone. Anyone. I know that I can't sit around and do nothing anymore. Not while there's people out there who need help.
Spoken like a true hero. Why, I wonder what the stories about you will say one day. And now then, every hero does need a little help fighting evil, am I right? Why don't you take this? It should prove to be of some use to you.
My eyes widen as I watch the witch reach into her bag and take out a platinum-colored gun. It's like fucking pink with goddamn fucking rhinestones all over it. I kind of fucking love it. It would be better if it were just fucking glittery. But like, I mean, you can't have everything. It's pretty fucking magical as it is. It's amazing. The weapon looks breathtaking as the moonlight gleams off the shining jewels encrusted on its side. It is the girliest fucking gun. I love it. A gun?
Oh, this isn't any regular old gun, my dearie, I assure you. It's the most fantastic, glittery, girly gun ever.
Obviously she didn't say that, but...
You see, I got it from a real hero a very, very, very long time ago. Its name is the Heartseeker.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it? It's also the downright manifestation of justice. And now do be mindful that it won't kill or hurt someone, and that's not its intention or the reason it was crafted. See, if a bullet from this gun hits someone with a truly evil heart, Valentino, it will make them undoubtedly confess all of their crimes and render them immobile for a certain time. Cough! Valentino, cough! It's the perfect tool for bringing down any evil perpetrator hiding amongst the innocents. How many times do I have to say, Valentino? I hope you realize that's who it's for.
I can't help but gulp as I stare at the glimmering gun. The witch smirks in my direction.
I think this should help you clear out a few of the snakes that have slithered into this quiet town as of late. However, a word of caution. Be sure to use it wisely. I'm afraid there's only one bullet left after all this time.
I hold my breath as the witch gently places the gun in my hand. The weight of it's surprisingly light, but yet I feel a mysterious sensation beginning to well up inside of me. I look back at the witch, who returns my gaze with a calm, almost knowing smile. However, my thoughts are quickly interrupted as a passing siren catches our attention.
Now then, I believe you have some unfinished business to take care of, yes? Perhaps you should get going, or we can catch up another time.
Thank you so much for everything. If it wasn't because of you,
Now, now, there's no need for all of that, nor time. I have a feeling you'll bring a lot of good to this world, my dear child. However, do promise me you will be absolutely careful. The trials before you are not to be underestimated, am I understood?
As I nod, I can't help but look down and smile as I'm reminded of a grandmother seeing off her grandchild. Just as I slowly begin to turn around, I feel a gentle hand reach out to stop me one last time. I glance back to see the witch digging deep inside her pocket. After a few moments, she pulls out a familiar-looking pen.
Here, take this with you, too. Even the greatest of heroes all need a friend.
My eyes water at the sight of Philia's pen as the witch places it in my hand. I look up at her smiling face, and I can't help but throw my arms around her in a grateful hug. Thank you. Thank you so much. I promise I'll...
Save it for later. Now off with you, child. Quickly. You have someone to save, don't you?
After quickly stuffing Philia safely in my pocket, I hold the gun up confidently in my other hand. Its hilt gleams in the moonlight, and I can't help but smile. Yes, I do! Oatmeal stuck under my tongue or something weird. Ugh. You ever get like a crumb stuck under your tongue and you're like, what is that? I ate like an hour ago, Jesus. As I emerge from the alley's corner, I immediately duck back in at the sight of familiar suited men marching down the street. I peek over the wall to catch glimpses of a small army of red dragons led by Valentino. Amongst the group, however, are faces I don't remember ever seeing at the manor. At his command, suited men break storefronts and vandalize everything in their way. Passing townspeople scream as they run in opposite directions. I can't read Italian, so I'm not even going to try reading what he's saying. So just, this town, soon the world, will know the true might and fury of Il Draghi Rosso. I gasp as a young, dirty boy jumps up in front of Valentino, waving a beat-up hockey stick defiantly.
Get out of our town, you jerk!
Suddenly, another young boy rushes in to stop him.
Brother, stop! We gotta run! No way! We gotta fight against villains like him!
Valentino scoffs as his eyes narrow at the two young boys. I don't know. Anyway. Don't you two remind me of a duo I know, I'm assuming the Che Ironia part is like, how ironic. Because it seems like that's what he's saying. I don't know. Allow me to teach you the lesson I wasn't able to teach them. Valentino motions wordlessly to one of his suited men, and the man approaches the shaking boys with a chilling smile. Don't you dare lay a finger on them! I instinctively slink back into the shadows as I watch Marcello emerge from another alleyway. He narrows his eyes at Valentino as several of the red dragons begin to look amongst each other, and then back at Marcello in visible disbelief. But boss, is that really you? We heard you were dead, that you got killed by Sergio of the Black Lions. Seems that information really keeps getting miscommunicated amongst us lately, huh? Starting to wonder why. And actually Valentino was the one that shot me. Maybe you should remember that. Valentino's expression is unreadable as he slowly bows. Marcello signals to the kids with a curt head nod, and they take off running. It's wonderful to see you well. I cannot apologize enough for my previous accidental actions. It's funny, Sergio killed him! You're the one that shot him, though! You just... Sergio killed him! Didn't you shoot? You shut up! I feel like the person who was like, somebody is like, but you're the one who shot. Oh, no, I mean, what? Yeah, no, Sergio did it. Like, those people are dead. Valentino killed them. Valentino, the hell were you thinking? Who gave you the authority to declare war on my behalf? To take arms on my behalf? You turned this innocent town into a battleground, and I want to know why. But what prompted you to make this decision without my consent? My apologies, young dragon, but I was under the impression this was what you wanted regardless. Was it not your exact words? To finish this once and for all? Air quotes around that. I hold my breath as a few moments pass. I watch as Marcello closes his eyes and slowly shakes his head. No, Valentino, it's not that simple anymore. There's too much at stake here. We can't just... Marcello! Ooh. At Valentino's unusual outburst, several of the red dragons fidget around nervously. Valentino slowly turns to them with a forced smile. You men leave us. I need to have a few private words with our leader. Several of the men look amongst each other skeptically as they disperse. I watch closely as Valentino approaches Marcello. Suddenly he throws his arm around him in a tight embrace. And you're like, this seems shady. Are you gonna stab him? Marcello, my liege, my boy. Please don't make the same mistake your father did. I've watched you grow, little dragon. Cared for you and raised you as if you were my own flesh and blood. And I've taken great pride in the man you've become. In the dragon you've become. One fit to rule us all. But please, don't become the same cowardly shell of a man your father did. Couldn't bear to see it happen twice in a lifetime. You do understand this world will never know true peace until we, the Red Dragons, bring it forward. Yeah, but we're starting a war. Okay. You know what? It's fine. All right. And for peace to be attained, there must first be war. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Women would be like, just bitch slap her once and it's fine. And like, men are like, let's all just kill each other. I mean, yeah, it'll be fine when you're all fucking dead because you're all idiots. Stop it. Let's just have a normal bitch fight, insult each other, call each other fat, cry a little, eat some ice cream, and then we'll be fine. Much like any greater purpose in life, there are sacrifices that must be made first, Marcello. You know this. I know you do. I growl as Valentino brings a hand to Marcello's face. He looks at him pleadingly. Don't let your father's great legacy die in the same vein as life did. You're right. My heart drops as Marcello looks up at Valentino with a serious expression. Valentino smiles as he bows deeply at his liege. Oh, pleased I am to hear it. Whatever. You're right that peace has a high price on its head, and that to attain true peace a lot of changes need to take place first. But meaningless bloodshed isn't one of the ones I believe to be necessary. Neither did my father, or my mother, or any of the people whom you consider to be so cowardly. Yay! Yes! Marcello! What? Call off the attacks. Let the Black Lions know we stand down. I don't wish for war, Valentino. I grow tired of watching innocent lives be cut short of our meaningless ideals. Too tired. Instead, let's find a way to rule as the mightiest underground power without needless fighting. Whatever he's saying. That's impossible! I can't read Italian, man. It might be, but I'm your leader, Valentino. I am Il Drago Rosso. Wow. Now. And you'll follow my orders. Got that? Yeah. Now, call the men off. I won't be repeating myself twice. I can't help but smile proudly at Marcello as he stares Valentino down unflinchingly. Valentino is left speechless under his gaze as he nods his head. Suddenly, a black car pulls up in front of us, and two members of the Black Lions, along with Sergio, run out towards Marcello. There you are. Marcello, we need to talk. Now. I love him. Just as Marcello turns his back to Valentino, my eyes widen as he pulls a gun out from his suit and aims it straight at the back of Marcello's head! Codardo? Something about your father. Like, prepare to meet your father. I don't know. It's like he's basically, you're gonna be with your dad again. Something like that. Look, I don't read Italian. It would be, again, it'd be extremely helpful if you're gonna have whole fucking sentences in Italian to put what they mean in English just so we understand. I mean, you kind of know what he's saying. Padre, you know, is like, you're gonna end up, like, I'm gonna kill you just like I did your dad, basically. Like, something along those lines. You're gonna prepare to meet your fucking maker? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna kill him. We know what's happening here. This is it. All seems hopeless and lost. Suddenly I hear a voice from inside me call out.
It might very well be the end, but there's still one last choice for you to make. What will you do, child, when faced against such overwhelming evil? Will you choose to keep fighting, even if it could cost you everything? Or will you choose to kneel before fate? The choice is yours, and you must make it now.
Warning, the choice you make? Okay, we already know this.
This is your story. Your fate is in your hands. Choose wisely. Now tell me, what will you do?
We're supposed to shoot Valentino. Because we have the Heartseeker gun, right? That's the right answer. But we're going to go down the bad ending first, loop back around, and then do it the right way. So we're going to save him.
I see.
It's just like, oh. You know it's the wrong answer, but it's so funny when you click it. It's like, oh. Okay. Like, without a second thought, I leap into action and throw my body with reckless abandon in front of Valentino's line of fire. She has to jump pretty high because he's aiming at Marcello's head. Okay? Like, and then and Marcello's pretty tall, I'm just saying. A deafening gunshot rings out, followed by a harsh cry as I realize I'm falling. I love this ending. There's a reason this ending, we'll get to it, but I'm just like, wait, what? I land on the ground with a stiff thud, but feel nothing. My entire body is numb as I look up from where I'm laying, only to lock eyes with Valentino's utterly stunned expression. The gun in his hand is still smoking from the bullet he just fired. It's heartbreaking, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's a weird, weird thing. You again! You foolish girl! Spacey! I instinctively roll my head towards the other direction when I heard the familiar voice call for me. I spot Sergio rushing to my side, dropping to his knees as he slides to a stop in the gravel beside me. This fucking breaks my heart so fucking much, and it shouldn't. That's why this path is so, like, weird. I love it. I'm not saying weird in a bad way, but it's like the whole time where you're like, oh, Marcello, and then you meet Sergio, and you're like, Marcello doesn't is Sergio in love with me? Am I in love with Sergio? I got that option to be like, am I special to you? And then he's all blushy and like, wait, what? And then there's this. Huh? You make me hurt for a man that's not even the one we're supposed to be in love with in this path. I'm so confused. I love it. I love it because it's like, oh, you're making me confused and I shouldn't feel this way. Like, think of it. In every Otome game, you're like, unless you have your favorite character, but like, you're in a path with your love interest, okay? And the character you are is always in love with that person. There's never any kind of wishy-washy feeling, except for you, the player, or me, being like, I'm sorry, Van Helsing, I'll always love you, no matter what route you go down, right? So in this, you're kind of in Marcella's right. You don't really see the other characters, right? So you don't get to pine for them, even if they're your favorite. But you're in this route. You're totally focused on Marcello, but then all of a sudden they throw Sergio in, and you're like, but I love Sergio. Wait a minute, what the fuck is happening? And they make you feel torn. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the writing is there to kind of do that, where you're like, am I special to you? Wait, I feel like you want me to fucking fall in love with Sergio. And then you want me to see his cute little blushing face. And then you want this ending where I'm like, oh my God, I feel so you want me to feel horrible for being like torn. To be like, well, we're supposed to love Marcello, but I love Sergio. And holy fucking shit, what the hell? And I love it. It's brilliant. And if that wasn't the intent, I'm just going to give him credit for this intent because I shouldn't feel so torn and angsty over my indecision, but I'm very indecisive right now. Like, Marcello, this is your route and you deserve all my love, but I really love Sergio right now. And in this moment, this is like, this is why this ending is so painful. I mean, twofold. Wait for it. Anyway, his face is contorted in pain as his eyes rake over my body with a desperation I've never seen in him before. He gingerly reaches down to cradle and lift me until I'm sitting up in his arms, like he's secretly in love with us, and it hurts so fucking much. Spacey, can you hear me? You're going to be all right. I blink as his frantic words all but fall away and fail to register in my mind. I can't read. Why does his face look so tortured? Why do his eyes look like they're on the verge of tears? See? This hurts! I didn't know it was going to be like this. I mean, I did because I played it once before, but... No, that look doesn't suit him. Those aren't the eyes I want him to look at me with. See? And then she's like this! isn't the person I want to look at me that way. But then she says that yeah, she corrects herself, but there's that moment of, I don't want you to look at me like that. Wait, no, it's not you. But see, she's confused. Even she's confused in death. Such a torturous route. As I part my lips to speak, Sergio shakes his head. It gets worse. No, don't speak. You're going to be alright. You're going to be alright, damn it. He's hurting. I love it. But my eyebrows only knit together in deeper confusion as Sergio bows his head and I feel his strong arms clutch me closer than before. This should be heartbreaking because you're like your love interest is holding you, but he's not even your love interest. I'm so sorry. This never should have happened. You should have never entered our world. You belong in the light, living your peaceful life away from all the pain and suffering that follows our paths. But yet, you still followed us. I know, and he says us. Yeah, because I technically would follow you to the depths of hell. With a shake of his head, Sergio looks away from me as he lowers his tone, but I'm still close enough to hear. It was way too late this time, but maybe in another life, I could have been the one to protect you. That's all. See? He is in love with us and it hurts! Ah! This hurts more than if Marcelo was holding us being sad. And it should... Oh my god! My eyes widen at the sudden confession. But before I can open my mouth to reply, another face appears in the corner of my eye and cuts off any remaining thoughts completely. And yet it's more hurtful because she's not in love with Sergio. He's in love with her, and she's in love with Marcelo, and then there's this, okay? There, looming a few paces back, was Marcelo, who had been staring at us in stunned silence, unsure how to react the entire time. What the hell was she thinking? Just who is this girl, Sergio? He doesn't fucking remember us. We died to protect him. He doesn't remember us. Sergio's pining for us, and oh my god! It's the angstiest! Like, I love it. It's so awful. Marcelo steps forward and reaches down towards me ever so slightly. Sergio flinches, shielding me as he growls fiercely like a lion. And then I love it. It's so amazing. Don't touch her. My heart begins to race as my eyes glance frantically between the two men's faces. Marcelo, But my words suddenly choke up in my throat as a pounding pain suddenly breaks through my shock and crashes down like a ton of bricks. I quickly reach down to my stomach, the source of my agonizing pain, only to feel an oddly warm and wet sensation. I slowly bring my hand back up to my face, only for my heart to sink in complete horror as I realize it's covered in blood. My own blood. Wait, no. Marcelo. For God's sake, someone call a medic! And he's angsty over... Oh, God. I want to protect him. I want to protect poor Sergio. I'm sorry, Marcelo. I know it's your route, but I just need to protect this poor man. We already have, sir, but due to the current situation, it may take some time to arrive. God damn it. Spacey, can you hold on until then? By now, the pain is so immense that my vision is beginning to cloud over, and I can feel my grip on reality inevitably slipping away. I managed to nod back a feeble nod, despite recognizing deep within my heart that this was definitely the end for me. Stay strong, Spacey. Just a little bit longer. You're gonna be alright. I'll make sure of it. Marcelo, what the hell are you doing? Don't just stand there like an imbecile. Go after that treacherous snake Valentino. He's behind all of this. Marcelo's eyes widen for a second at the command, before he straightens up and narrows his eyes down at me. Hey, look, I don't even know the girl. She just jumped out on her own. No, there must be some mistake here. Valentino would never betray us. He must have had some reason. Are you kidding me? You really going to say that? Spacey risked her life for you. She saved your life, Marcelo. Sergio was so fucking great. Like I said, that was her mistake. I don't know the girl. There's a beat of silence before Sergio's eyes darken over and his head lowers. Sergio takes care to gently lay me down before he stands up, head still bowed as he balls his fists in pure rage. I mean, I love the fact that we're in between these, like, in their bromance, because they're like, brothers and besties, but they're kind of like torn apart right now, and then we're like, we just wedged right in the middle and ripped them apart even more. Fucking love it. I mean, it's so angsty. Marcelo narrows his eyes as I watch Sergio slowly turn around to face him. Pathetic. To think I once called a man like you brother. Sergio, I'd watch what you say if I were you right now. You're not the man I thought you were. You're not the man I thought you'd become. The only thing you are now is a monster. Sergio's such a fucking softie who can't even tell friend from foe. Kinda not untrue. Finally, Sergio's head snaps up and he reaches to his belt, swiftly whipping out a silver pistol. His stance doesn't waver even once as he aims resolutely at the man in front of him. I thought differently before, and now that I've seen it with my own eyes, I know for certain. You're not fit to rule anyone. You're not fit to protect anyone. When you couldn't even protect the woman you loved. So here and now, I'm gonna put an end to all this myself. Putting a gun in my face, huh? You know how much I hate that. At this, Marcelo merely shakes his head as he chuckles darkly to himself. The leader of the Red Dragon slowly turns away as he reaches into his own suit jacket. You're right about one thing. I am pathetic. In one swift motion, Marcelo spins back around with one arm extended out in front of his own hand. In front of his own. Wait. As his own. Okay, sorry. One arm extended out in front as his own handgun is cocked and ready for the final shot. But if anyone's gonna put a stop to all this today, that'll be me. I feel my body growing weak and cold beyond compare, but I still want to scream out. I want to jump up and yell at the two sides to stop, but I'm left utterly powerless as the last of my energy leaves me. The last thing I hear is a lone gunshot ring out before everything fades to black. Here's the thing! You don't know who shot who! So, well, we're in the afterlife with somebody. Honestly, be better if we're in the afterlife with Sergio, just because he at least remembers us and cares about us. But it's kind of one of those you're like, I mean, on one hand, if Marcelo kills Sergio, then we're in the afterlife with Sergio. But if Sergio kills Marcelo, it's probably better because Marcelo's being a dumb fuck, and then bad things are going to happen because Valentino and Marcelo can't just stand up for himself. He's being a little bit of a bitch right now. Like, I don't know. There's like pluses and minuses to like, but it's you're in that, I don't, you should side 100% with Marcelo, but you're really not in that ending. You're like, no, I'm with Sergio here. Holy shit, what the fuck? I mean, the bad endings are always bad for a reason, but this one is just so confusing, and I love it. I love that you get to the end of the round and you're so confused by like, wait a minute, but I love Sergio. Even though she's like, I want Marcelo to look at me this way. No, I'm okay with this. Wait a minute. I shouldn't be this torn. It's beautiful. And now I really desperately need the Sergio route is all I'm saying, because he said in another life, I know, you basically handed it to me. You're dangling it in front of me and I just can't reach it. Fat girl needs the cupcake. Come on. Anyway. A familiar voice comes to you from within the darkness.
It seems you've met a terrible fate. Poor child, I can feel the anguish and strong regret in your heart even now. Would you like to turn back the hands of time?
Hell fucking yes. The game doesn't want to say yes.
Very well. Then I shall turn back the hands of time.
Fades away. Okay, so I'm just going to click through this fast. Amongst the groups, Valentino. I don't want to do auto because then it will like start skipping our good ending. You can't. And everybody's arguing. Boys come up. Valentino's going to fucking kill them. Marcelo comes out. Don't you dare fucking touch those kids, motherfucker. And then Valentino's going to try to shoot him. I do like that it kind of starts back a little bit further, so you're kind of back and you get a little bit like you forgot. It really... Me, I forget, but not this soon. But at the same time, I kind of wish it wouldn't go back as far, just because for me, now I gotta click through, and you can't skip red text. Again, that's a personal preference. I prefer, and I think most people prefer to skip red text, especially if you want to go back for any reason. This you kind of don't need to, except for this point. or if you really wanted to go back and choose all the other text options. You know what I mean? If you could go back in the log and navigate back, you know what I mean? Like, if you could click log and go click here and skip back to a certain... It's very laggy, or is it just me? Like, that seems way laggier than normal. It could just always be like that, but I never click log. I always scroll back to get it, but...
All seems hopeless and lost. You seem a voice. What do you want to choose? What do you want to do? Click yes or no. What's the good? Good ending? Bad ending? Choose wisely. What will you do?
Shoot Valentino.
I see. Well done, child.
Yay! I mean, you know the right answer to begin with, but without even consciously processing what's going on, my body leaps into action. Just before Valentino pulls the trigger, I've already pulled the trigger on my own gun and watch as the Heartseeker's bullet pierces through the back of his chest. Marcelo quickly turns around, hearing the gunshot. His alarmed eyes lock with mine before lowering to see Valentino, who's now on his knees, gripping his chest in pain. You again! The hell have you done? Valentino! As Marcelo approaches the writhing Valentino, I leap forward to grab his arm and stop him. He turns to me in surprise as I force him to look me in the eyes. Marcelo, I know you may no longer remember who I am, but there's two things you absolutely must know. First, that man's not who he appears to be. And second, Te amo. Marcelo stares at me incredulously, and his face contorts as if trying desperately to understand something, before Valentino's agonizing groan breaks his concentration. It's kind of, I mean, it is nice, because even though he forgets you, there's that moment in the hospital where he looks at you and he's like, I don't know you. But there's like, there's something in the back of his mind that's like, maybe it? Nope. But it's so blocked that he can't get it. And even here, when he's like, but he gets distracted by it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, somewhere in the back of his mind, he remembers you, but... Valentino! Worthless vermin! Do not touch me! Marcelo's eyes widen as Valentino's venomous eyes begin to glow a faint red. I look down at the Heartseeker in my hand to catch a faint wisp of red smoke trailing out the end. I should have ended your miserable existence years ago, like I did to your father. What? Valentino, what the hell are you saying? Suddenly the red glow flickers out and Valentino vehemently shakes his head, almost as if returning to normal. I don't know what's come over me. Don't listen to my foolish words. Oh, sorry, I missed that. I was like, why didn't it skip the text? Because I missed that it said, sorry. You imbecile! It was me! I was the one behind it all! For years I've been planning the demise of the Red Dragons! Marcelo and I step back as a red light envelops Valentino fully. You coward! Fool! We spent all this time looking for a trail to follow, hunting for your father's murderer. You failed to look right next to you. Valentino, why? You were family to us. My father, he loved you, respected you, trusted you with his life. Why would you? Your father was a fool and a coward. With the amount of power, skill, and money he held, could have easily toppled the Black Lions ages ago. No, the entire modern world, should he so have wished. Wow, I couldn't read. And he did wish for it. He was on the verge of it. But no, he met a woman, bore a son, and everything about the man I respected the most in the world changed. Began to speak of pathetic peace and flimsy ideals of skewed justice. Can you believe it? A man whose job is killing for a living, believing in justice. A man who was molded and created by war, upholding peace. Oh, for what? The snake of a snot-nosed brat and a pathetic woman? What a useless, utter fool he turned out to be. I can't scream right now, Al. I growl as I ball my hands into fists and attempt to lunge at Valentino, but Marcelo holds me back. I can't make out his expression as he listens to Valentino go on. Valentino, it was you who killed my father and everyone else aboard that ship that night. It was you who fed me lies, brought me to this town, and turned the Lions and Sergio against me. Also turned, like, you against the Lions. I mean, also, maybe, just throwing that out there. It was you who started this meaningless war and ended so many innocent lives in the process? Answer me, Valentino! What's wrong with you? But of course it was me. And oh, how easy you made it for me, trusting in my every word, in my every judgment, like a broken man clinging to hope. I waited all those years for this moment to finally happen. I waited to fulfill and do what your father and you couldn't do. Both the red dragons and the black lions will kneel at my feet, and then the world shall cower before me and me alone. I'll be the most powerful man in... Before Valentine can finish his sentence, Marcelo swings a punch that sends a slight tremor into the ground. I watch as Valentino, now unconscious and with a bleeding, broken face, falls to the ground and stops moving. Like, damn, he angry. A few silent, intense moments pass by before Sergio slowly walks over to us as he shoots me a look. He then turns to Valentino. Sergio's just standing back there like, fuck. So, the real snake finally showed its fangs. I still love you. But instead of a reply, Marcelo just falls to the floor and I rush over to him. He closes his eyes as he looks down at his bloodied hand. Father, Mother, everyone. Can't believe I let this happen. Marcelo, please look at me. Without even giving him another second, I turn his face with my hands and lock my lips onto his in an emotional kiss. He's like, this random chick just keeps kissing me. After a few seconds, I part away with tears falling from my cheeks as I look into his heartbroken eyes. I cup his face in my hands and rest my forehead against his. Marcelo, please, listen to me. This isn't your fault. None of this is your fault. You saved me. You saved Tito. You saved everyone. You saved countless lives throughout this entire town. Marcelo stares at me with a solemn expression, but his eyes never stray from me. I cup his cheek as he lets me place another kiss on his lips. You're amazing. You're my hero. So please, don't try to bear this weight alone. Share your burden with me. Could you imagine being Marcelo and not recognizing this person saying this to you and you're like, that's nice, but I don't know you, weirdo. And with me. We'll be a throuple, it'll be beautiful. Sergio already loves me, it's alright. Marcelo and I look up at Sergio as he stares at Marcelo with a sincere expression. Suddenly, he extends a hand out towards Marcelo as a smile escapes his lips. Many moons ago, you found me lying on a street, and you gave me a family. You gave me a brother. And you built up an orphan who had nothing, came from nothing, and who was nothing, into someone. He's so beautiful. Allow me to return the favor. Let me bear the weight that life has given you, as you helped me bear mine. I love him so much! How am I should love Marcelo, but Sergio just stole the fucking show at the end. He just, went over, grabbed it, and was like, this is fucking mine now. And you're like, I love you. Yeah, Marcelo's great. And I enjoyed his route up until, but then you get to this point, and this is why I want to say, I feel bad to say that Marcelo's, my least favorite character in this, because my heart just got ripped away by Sergio. You're like, Marcelo's great. He really is. There's nothing wrong with him. But then and then Sergio just steals it. And you're like, if Sergio can steal my heart that easily, I hate that. Because Marcelo is a fun character and it's a great route. It really is. But I'm just a fickle bitch. And my heart wants what it wants. And it wants Sergio, is all I'm saying. Florian's still my fucking number one, though. No one's going to steal my heart from that bitch, okay? He got the glasses. You put glasses on a motherfucker and that's it. I'm done. I'm easy, alright? Take any fucking kind of glasses character. If they got glasses, I'm in love with them. They have to do a lot for me to be like, yeah, no. Put glasses on Sergio, it would have been like, oh, okay, fight, boys! Fight for my affection! No, it's okay. I'll just add them both into Man Harem. Take them all. It's fine. And besides, if I recall correctly, I believe we made a promise to protect everyone, didn't we? Big brother. Oh! And now he's blushing! He's so precious! He's a big, tough man, but he's such a cinnamon bun! Oh, my heart shouldn't hurt this much for him. At his words, Marcelo cracks a small smile as he glances up at Sergio. I can't help it. Haven't heard that one in a while. Well, oh, yeah. Well, I ain't saying it again. My heart lights up as Marcelo takes Sergio's hand as he helps him up. The two men, as Marcelo's takes Sergio... It's things like this, it's just weird. Anyway, as he helps him up, the two men stare at each other for a few moments before slowly nodding. A relieved tear falls from my eye as they shake hands in a firm handshake. What's ala passe? Something. I don't know. I can't read. Something. Agreed? Treaty? Truce? Pact? Something? I don't know. Minor personal gripe. Even though the words they speak are in another language, I can clearly understand the feelings they convey. That's an exact dig at me, is like, you can clearly tell what they're trying. I know. I just don't know exactly what they're saying. Nor can I pronounce it. Suddenly, another helicopter flies over us in the direction of the harbor. Sergio's phone begins to ring, and he shoots Marcelo a knowing look. I hate to cut the happy ending short, but Marcelo, we have to go. The fighting's still going on overseas, and people still think you're out of the picture. Come on, brother. We got a war to end and people to protect. Hold hands and go skipping off into the sunset. Marcelo nods as Sergio motions towards his men. Two of the lackeys grab Valentino and drag him towards the vehicle they arrived in. Sergio begins to walk off, and Marcelo moves to follow him when I run to catch up to them. Wait, I'm going too. I can... No, you're not. What? Sergio stares at Marcelo for a few moments before turning to face me. I'm sorry, Spacey, but he's right on this. The place we're going is the farthest thing from safe right now. It's best if you stay here and wait until this all boils over. It's on our hands now, so leave it to us. And thank you for everything you've done. For both the Red Dragons and the Black Lions. We'll always be in your debt. Just love me. That's all I want. I watch as the two men before me exchange looks before Sergio continues towards the car. I'll be in the car. Sergio leaves and Marcelo turns around to face me. I can't help but smile sadly as I look up at him. You know what would have been fucking better? Just for me, personally. Sergio just comes over and just fucking kisses you, just to see if Marcelo, gets jealous, and Marcelo's like, damn, your girlfriend's hot. And then he's like, she's your nothing's gonna change your brain, is it? And he just walks away. You don't remember me at all, do you? Sorry. It's not your fault. I'm really glad I met you, Marcelo. Thank you. Truly. And thank you for everything you've done. Even though I can't remember much, I'm sure it was a great deal. Take care of yourself. Spacey. My name is Spacey. It's a beautiful name. It is. I'll never forget it again. I swear it. Tears begin flowing down my cheeks as my strong facade begins to waver upon hearing him say those words. Marcelo reaches over sadly to wipe one away. His touch is warm and gentle and makes my heart ache. Spacey, I'm sorry. I shake my head as I force a smile and grab his hand. Don't be. Now go. You have people to protect, remember? And yet I can't shake the feeling I'm not protecting the most important one. See, he's deep down, he remembers, but he can't remember. Sorry, did you say something? No, I'm leaving now. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I definitely will. Marcelo makes his way towards the car and opens the door. Just as he's about to enter, he turns to look at me one last time, and I wave and smile, pretending my heart isn't tearing itself apart as I watch him get in the car and drive off. Several moments later, the car quickly drives off until I can no longer see him on the horizon. 6 months later... Isn't that sad? 6 months later! It's like the worst happy ending ever! I let out a joyous smile as I stare at my official transcripts, signed and approved by my academic advisor. Well, it's official now. I finally did it. You're now talking to an official student of the Criminal Justice Studies program. Signed and approved. So, oh, it's supposed to be Yeah, that's wrong. It's supposed to be Philia.
So wait now! Are you gonna be like a sexy policewoman like in the spy movies? Oh! Or maybe a secret agent! Dun-dun-dun! Philia will be your cool sidekick!
Okay, now I just need a whole side game that's just like them, like kicking ass, taking names, like fucking literally magic invisible penguin fucking sidekick. Look, I wrote a novel when I was like in elementary school. It was the Invisible Detective. She was fucking invisible. So I'm just saying, Invisible Detective could totally hook up with the Invisible Penguin and we can have like an Invisible Detective series. Just saying. I did. I actually did. It was like, I mean, it wasn't really it was like 5 pages maybe. But I came up with that, man. Like in elementary school. I got some brilliant fucking ideas. I just, you know. Like fucking Pirate Atomy. I got some great fucking ideas for that shit too. I got lots of ideas in my head. My brain can think of these things, but the rest of my body can't make it happen. There's a disconnect between my brain and my body. It's fucking weird. It's like 2 different people. Must have absorbed my twin in the womb. She had the smart brain and she probably had the nice body too. And why couldn't I have been that one? Damn it. Anyway. I don't know. I can't help but laugh as Philia stands up on the table and waves her little wand around as if it were a sniper gun. Well, I don't know exactly what I want to specialize in yet, but there's a whole world of possibilities. The secret agent one sounds pretty cool though, right?
Totally cool! Can we have secret codenames too? Mine'll be Sticks. Like, you know, mozzarella sticks. I'm a genius.
Sure you are. Just as I giggle and Philia opens her beak to complain, I hear a loud gasp and a yell coming from in front of us. I watch as a man runs away with a large bag in hand and a passerby points at him. Someone help! Stop that thief! He stole that poor old woman's bag! I forgot about this. Without thinking twice, I immediately set off after him. I forgot about this. You know where it's going, right? You can't at this point not have a clue. I huff as I dust off my hands, smirking smugly at the thief who's knelt over in pain from a nice martial arts kick to the groin. That should teach you a lesson, you jerk! Don't go stealing from little old ladies! I watch as a pair of police officers approach us and apprehend him, while thanking me. I turn around and stare at the odd-looking bag before I pick it up. Again, if you didn't know right now, little old lady. Oh, odd-looking bag. Put the pieces together. Wait a minute. This bag seems kind of familiar. Just as I examine it, a familiar voice draws my attention.
Why, thank you, dear child. Oh, I wouldn't know what I'd do if I lost this bag of tricks and... Oh. Why, heavens! It's you again, dearie. My, someone sure has an affinity for running into this sort of situation.
I thought I recognized the bag from somewhere.
Oh, thank you, my child. That's the second time you saved me. You're truly a remarkable young lady, aren't you? I must be very lucky to keep crossing paths with someone so special. Oh, how can I ever repay you, my dear?
No need to repay me at all. I'm just doing what I can to help. Here's your bag. Like, you already gave me Philia.
Oh, no, I insist. I would have been in a lot of trouble if it wasn't for your help today. Tell me, what do you wish?
I merely shake my head and smile as I gently grab the witch's hand in my own. She stares at me, surprised. No, it's not necessary. You've already given me enough happiness to last me a lifetime. Truly. Your thanks and knowing I was able to help you, even just a little bit, is more than enough for me now. I have to go now, but take care of yourself, okay? Without another word, I hand her the bag and continue walking off in my original direction.
Enough to last you a lifetime, eh? I'll make Marcella remember you.
Yeah, but I'm already in love with someone else! After 6 months. That would but could you imagine that? Could you imagine the scenario where you have this magic one, then they forget you, and then you get over them, and maybe you just started dating someone else, and then all of a sudden that person pops back, I do remember you, and what do you mean you've forgotten me? And you're like, awkward. That's fucking hilarious. And that's how we get. And then all of them come to you at once and you're like, but you all forgot. All right, come to the man harem. Spacey's got enough room for all of you. Hugs. That's how we date Sergio, right? Because he's the only one that remembers us. And then the other 4 all of a sudden remember us because the witch makes. And then you're like, oh, it's a big man harem. Yay. We get to keep everybody. Look, I got my priorities. Shut up. A few days later, I can't help but sigh as I hang up the phone. Philia tilts her head as she watches me cross out another company's name out of a notebook. It's like fucking deja vu.
Another no thanks. We filled the position already.
Not even. These guys sounded like they didn't even want the position filled. Oh well, on to the next one. I glare angrily at Philia as she plops 3 macaroons of 3 of the macaroons I ordered into her mouth. Philia, stop eating all of them. I want some too.
Sorry, Master. No can do. They're too delicious.
Philia, come back here. I told you to stop being a public nuisance, didn't I? Excuse me. Seat taken. Oh, sorry. No, it's not. Good. Be worried if it was. My eyes widen as I turn around to see a smiling Marcello. I stare at him for a few moments before I rub my eyes and look up again. Sure enough, he's still there. He chuckles bemusedly as he takes a seat in front of me. What's wrong, Pinks? Not happy to see me? Marcello, what are you doing here? What are you talking about? Didn't think I'd just bail out of my end of the bargain, did you? My eyes widen as he takes out a check from his pocket and hands it to me. My eyes widen at the realization. But, wait, this is... Do you remember? Marcello lets out a roaring laugh at my puzzled expression as he stands up. Remember? As if I could ever forget about you. And those damn banshee-like screams. What? See? There's one now. My heart tugs on my chest as I look up at Marcello's breathtaking smile. Marcello, do you... Come on. This isn't the place for this. What? Wait! Marcello suddenly grabs my hand and leaves a few $100 bills on the table before he pulls me outside. He turns to a nearby waiter and smiles. Keep the change. Total fucking deja vu. I'm struggling to catch up with Marcello until we finally stop at a familiar park. Marcello, wait. Oh, come on, Pinks. You weren't even this out of breath when we trained together. Don't tell me you've been slacking on your regimen. My eyes widen as I turn to Marcello, yet he only beams an amused smile at me. It's been 6 months, you know that, right? What does he think happened? I'm so that's my only confusion. So he's like, it's been 6 months, but why did I not remember you for 6 months? You do remember! Before I'm given a chance to say anything else, Marcello pulls me towards him and silences me with a deep kiss. I can feel tears well in my eyes as I wrap my arms around him and kiss him back. When we break apart, I look up only to be captivated by his loving gaze. But it's just so painful of a happy ending because like 6 months later... But how? You were... An idiot for ever letting you go? But I'm not planning on letting it happen again in this lifetime. Aww, here's your beautiful CG. Text box never went away though. I can't help but smile as my heart lights up. I wrap my arms around him and he picks me up and twirls me in the air. Come on, let's get home. Tito's missed you like crazy, you know. Home? But... Oh yeah, almost forgot. You're still looking for a job, right? I can offer you one. Marcello reaches into his pocket and drops a shining golden pin of a dragon into my palm. Marcello, but this is... I want you to join the Red Dragons as my advisor and my partner. But I can't possibly be... Sorry, no buts. I'm not taking anything but yes, boss, for an answer. Marcello only grins as he grabs me and lifts me up over his shoulder. I can't help but laugh as he starts walking off despite the people staring at us. I mean, you could still go into the criminal justice program and learn all the shit so that you're like, I know all the tricks that the FBI uses so that we can... So shady. Marcelo, let me down! Only if you promise to join the Red Dragons. Okay, geez, you big oaf. I'll join the Red Dragons. Marcelo grins as he lets me down. My heart flutters as we pull each other into another kiss. He rests his head on my forehead before I grab his hand and pull him along as I start running. Whoa, slow down there. No way, we got bad guys to bust and people to protect, don't we? After all, we're the Red Dragons! Woo! Both of us scream together. Like, I guess we're not trying to be undercover. I'm going to skip the credits because I don't have a lot of time. We're already at an hour and we don't have a lot of time. But it's the exact same credits as before. But again, I only have a slight few more minutes to record, so I want to try to get the epilogue in. Otherwise, I'd have to edit the part. But congratulations, you've unlocked the secret ending for Marcelo. Story's not over yet. Time to kick some ass! Okay. A few years later, my grip on my small, elegant purse tightens as I make my way through the crowd. People in designer dresses and suits mingle all around me, but I pay no attention to any of them as I walk towards a secluded bar towards the back of a lavish nightclub. I take a seat and lean forward to whisper discreetly into the small microphone wired into my earring. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Do you read me, Dragon 1? I hear a bit of static on the receiver, but a voice eventually crackles through. Roger, we hear you loud and clear, Princess. Hey, that's not my codename and you know it. Be serious here. This is a huge bust for us and we don't want to risk blowing our covers. Alright. We read you loud and clear, Phoenix 1. All men are in position. At this, I subtly glance around the vicinity of the club. I spot a few familiar Red Dragon lackeys mixed amongst the crowd before I look over to the booths. Marcelo, disguised in a hat and a pair of sunglasses, is sitting alone with a drink in hand, cause that doesn't make him look fucking sus. When he spots me, he lowers the frame of his shades ever so slightly to flash me a wink. I scoff, shaking my head and looking away. How about you, Lion 1? And by the entrance, our men are in position as well. I just love this. We're gonna team up together. It's my thruple dreams. And can you guys please stop flirting while on the job? Grosses me out. Because he's in love with us. It's so sweet. Grosses you out because you're gonna die a lonely, cranky old bastard. Enough, both of you! Focus! He's gonna die a cranky old bastard because we're not in love with him. Look, he's so sad. It hurts me! He started it. No, piss off. I like it when they argue, it's cute. I roll my eyes, but I can't help but smile slightly at the childish banter between two so-called fearsome mafia heads. Right, that's what's adorable about it. A waiter passes by with a tray of drinks. I take one and swirl it in my hands as I wait. Code Black. Target has entered the building. He's making his way towards you now, Phoenix 1. Took him long enough. Alright, people, it's showtime. I perk up instantly. I watch as a tall figure makes his way towards my booth. The man, dressed in a dark suit with his hair slicked back, stops in front of the table and smiles. Why, hello there. You must be Miss Spacey, I presume. That's correct, and you must be Mr. Coronet. Why, I'm so glad you could make it. He extends his hand and I reach out, intending for a shake, but he grabs my hand and places a chaste kiss on it before shooting me a smirk. Oh, but the pleasure's all mine, I assure you. He takes a seat across from me and crosses his arms, visibly eyeing me up and down. I must say, Miss Spacey, that when I received an order for our next major shipment, I didn't expect it to be from someone so demure and especially so beautiful. I let out a bashful giggle as I gracefully tuck a loose strand of hair behind my ear. Flirting 101. Oh, Mr. Coronet, you flatter me too much. Nonsense, my dear. Nothing you weren't deserving of. So then, you have what I'm looking for, yes? Mr. Coronet chuckles as he takes a sip of his drink before licking his lips and eyeing me down once again. Oh, I have everything you might need, my dear. I assure you. Gross. But of course, along with your requested 5 crates full of our finest ivory poached straight from South Africa. Wonderful. I'm ready to make the payment. I'm sure you are, but you know, I'd be willing to give you a bit of a discount.
Licking his lips again, Mr. Cornet slowly slides around the table and places his arm around my waist. He smirks devilishly as he brings his face incredibly close to mine, all the better to get him on recording.
Huh. If you're interested, of course.
I smile as I look down to his hand on my waist before looking back up to beam a shy smile at him. Oh, Mr. Cornet, I don't know what to say.
What more needs to be said, my dear? I'm a man and you're a woman. I think the rest is quite clear.
I think you're right. In that case, here's my answer.
Slam.
In one swift motion, I punch the lecherous man in the throat as he falls back on his stool, spilling his drink all over him. I love it. Interpol! And now that we have the confession we need, you, Mr. Cornet, are under arrest. I like the fact that she works for a mafia boss, but also Interpol. That's fucking right. Mr. Cornet's eyes widen before he curses and quickly stands up. He knocks a nearby waiter into me as he scrambles to escape, but I quickly recover and lunge forward to kick his legs out from under him. And we kick ass, it's amazing. Mr. Cornet tumbles to the ground, but manages to leap up again and make a mad dash towards the exit. Suddenly, a large figure blocks the entrance as Mr. Cornet looks up.
Since you like offers so much, buddy, let me make one of you. Dick or throat? Which do I rip out first for touching my woman?
Before Cornet even has a chance to reach to grab his gun, Marcelo's already slammed him face first into the ground. I quickly make my way over to the pair, weaving through the commotion all around as red dragons and black lions move to apprehend goons from the opposing side as well. Marcelo looks up from the suspect and smirks as I approach. I grin smugly before taking out a radio receiver from my belt and talking into it. We got him. I'll let you guys take it from here. Red Dragon's out. Later that night...
Babe, are you sure you're okay?
I look up from my paperwork for the umpteenth time as Marcelo eyes me while leaning on the bookshelf in the corner of the office. His arms are crossed as he furrows his eyebrows. For the last time, yes. The higher-ups had no problem with me contracting you guys out for this mission.
You know that's not what I meant.
I sigh, exasperated. I put my papers down and get up, walking out from behind the desk to make my way towards him. Marcelo, it was just an arm around my waist. Marcelo interrupts me with a scoff as he grits his teeth.
Listen here, just because you graduated top of your class and landed a hotshot position with Interpol doesn't mean you're allowed to throw yourself at the enemy.
It was just an arm around my waist! And in case you missed it, I decked him in the throat for it! At this point, I'm standing right in front of my boyfriend. He turns his face away, almost in a pout, so I reach up to peck him on the cheek. He still shows no reaction. I smile, amused. You know, for such a big, strong guy, you're pretty cute when you're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Okay, well, can you blame me? I don't like other men touching what's mine and mine alone.
Ahem! We share me with Sergio, thank you very much. Shh. This is Spacey's sexy ending. In an instant, the mood shifts completely. Marcelo takes a step closer, eyes dark and brooding, as he reaches out to gently brush a strand of hair away from my eyes. His hand trails down to my waist, and suddenly, I find our positions reversed as he turns me and pins me against the bookshelf. Spacey likes being pinned against things. Our bodies are molded against one another as I reach up to wrap my arms around his neck and pull him into a deep kiss. We kiss passionately for what feels like forever before we break apart, and Marcelo's lips immediately find their way to my neck. He sucks and nips at my skin hungrily, leaving a hot trail of red marks in his wake, signaling to the world that I'm his and his alone. I stifle back a moan when I feel his rough hand tease at the hem of my blouse before slipping under and... Suddenly the door bursts open! Hey, Spacey! I heard you're back from your mission! How'd it go? Marcelo and I jump apart at once, quickly trying to fix our disheveled appearances as we clear our throats. Hi, Tito. I was just doing some paperwork and... Yeah, paperwork.
Paperwork.
I forgot he said that! Marcelo! Tito rolls his eyes at the two of us and crosses his arms as he heads back towards the door. I'm not a kid anymore. I get it, okay? Glad you two are safe, but I'll leave you two lovebirds alone now.
my hand out desperately, but Tito has already disappeared behind the door, which closes with a click. Like, lock it if you're gonna do paperwork. A few seconds pass before I turn and bury my face in my hands. Oh my god, he knows. Our sweet, innocent baby has been tainted! But Marcelo just lets out a bellowing laugh as he wraps me in his arms. You're overreacting, babe. Like Tito said, he's not a kid anymore. But still... Marcelo laughs again as he kisses my forehead. I pout, but relax into his embrace. We stay like that for a few moments before I feel a sneaky hand begin to make its way downwards. I shoot Marcelo a look, but he just smirks in return. Now, where were we? Paperwork. Bird, what are you doing? Right. Paperwork. He's blushing, it's cute. Just as our lips lock together again. Bang, bang, bang. You don't go along up there. Boss! Spacey! We got a new lead! Now to hell with this! I quit, damn it! I can't help but laugh loudly as Marcelo throws papers into the air in frustration. I plant a small kiss on his lips before grabbing his hand and zooming towards the door. Duty calls, Mr. Dragon! Now let's go kick some ass! Huh. As we run hand in hand down the manor's halls, a full moon shines brightly in the night sky, basking all in its light. Bird, what are you doing? Fucking dumb. A familiar cackle is heard alongside us as a figure on a broom flies high across the starry sky. As I look towards the man I love, I can't help but smile, knowing the bond we formed roars louder than that of a mighty scarlet-colored dragon ruling over the skies. I don't think that's how you spell scarlet, but... Whether it's a typhoon of bullets or enemies on all sides, he's got my back and I've got his. And together, there's nothing that can stand against us. After all, our adventure has only just begun. Fan disc sequel to this? Oh. I mean, it's funny because, like, every time I've played Marcelo's route, like, okay, so when I first played the game, I was like, okay, yeah, you know when you look at characters, you're like, these are my favorite characters. You don't know what their paths or routes are going to be like, right? But even after I played his route the first time and I enjoyed it, but when I'm coming back to re-record it, I'm like, yeah, well, let's do that one before we do Jamie's route, right? And it's just for some reason, I don't know why, because you do it and you're like, no, it's really actually fun and I love it and I still love him. I think it's just because Sergio steals me away from him and I feel guilty. You know? And I feel like there should be other characters that come in on the game and I should be like, oh, I like them. Yeah, I want their route, but I'm totally invested in this. But unfortunately, you get to the end and you're like, I'm not 100% invested in this anymore. And I feel so guilty. It's me. I feel guilty about it. Anyway. There we go. Our little final CG. Oh. Our lovely kissy CG. Hello. I know we're going backwards, but like, we're not going in any particular order of the CGs or anything. We're just, you know. Sometimes they don't want to work. There we go. This one's fucking hilarious. That's kind of funny. Oh god, there's a fly in here. Yeah, I really do like his route though. Like nothing about it's a good route. I don't know why. I just feel like Sergio stole me away, or like when I'm thinking about them afterward, like I like some of the other ones better. I don't know, because there's nothing wrong with it's great. They're all fucking great. You know what I mean? And they all have like really fun moments and they're all great for different reasons. Hello. Okay, this is the only thing that kind of hello, are you working? Like this is working. Why is this not working? Okay, that's my only I think I would much prefer to click on the CGs and they come up because the hovering over doesn't quite work really well. And then I can't move my mouse away. That's just personally for me because I like to leave you with the CG at the end and I want the mouse poking somebody in the nose or anything, right? It's a little distracting. Even though I've left it on sometimes. Not when I'm clicking, but like when I'm doing other things, like, I don't even need my mouse, and it's just there in the middle of a screen, like, when we had to record other things and use my recording software to record off my capture card, which is then pulling off of my because it wasn't working right, like, and then it's like, oh, there's a mouse there, and you don't need the mouse there because we're playing on the Switch. Awesome. So, really shouldn't complain because I've done it a million times, and it's barely noticeable, to be honest, but I don't know, I do just prefer clicking it just because this hovering over doesn't work all the time. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I really did like his route. Again, I feel like Sergio stole my heart away, which is just very unfair to Marcelo. Because he's fun. Even though he's not my typical, like, standard love interest, I enjoyed his character. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed his character a lot. So, like, yeah. And now, okay, so technically Enix was after I've played all the routes. You haven't seen me play all the routes. I actually really like them all. Like, and that's rare for me in a game to be like, I actually really like all of them. Like, sure, I've got my favorites, but, like, I like them all and I enjoyed all the routes. I mean, a lot of times I can be like, yeah, I mean, the route itself is good, but maybe it doesn't resonate with me, or I just don't feel like I'm supposed to feel in the game. Like, I'm supposed to absolutely love this, but I didn't, or I absolutely hate that love interest, or, it's like, it's a good route, but I feel nothing about it. Like, I can appreciate it, and I get why people like it, but it's not for me, personally, I really enjoyed all of these. I had so much fun in all of them, and I still want those 2 side routes. Thank you very much, DLC. Take all my fucking money. I'm going to take all my credit cards and throw them at the fucking wall. Like, take them! Just take them all! Take my money and give me the routes, damn it! But now we're halfway through the game, so we have Jamie and we have Florian left. I'm saving Florian for the end, because that really is my favorite. He is my favorite just from right off the bat. I loved him from the fucking second I saw the Kickstarter, and I was like, I love you! Glasses asshole. He's actually not really an asshole. I mean, a little bit. But not really. A little bit. But not as much as you think. Look, the Glasses assholes are always the fucking, like, marshmallows, if you think about it. Like, you're crunchy on the outside and you're squishy on the inside. I don't really know why marshmallow comes to my mind when I think that, but that's just what it was. It's how it started in my brain, and that's how we stick with it. But yeah. But we're going to do Jamie's route next. I'm kind of excited about that one. It was a lot of fun the first time. They're all been a lot of fun. And I got to be honest. No, I'm not happy that I had to record 20 plus hours over again, because that sucks. But at the same time, I only mind theoretically. I mind that's a lot of work to have to redo. And now I was so far ahead, and now it's like, oh crap, now I gotta worry and I gotta make sure I'm ahead, and now it's like I'm in panic mode. I'm like a month ahead, okay? Like, I'm now back to being like a month ahead because I have enough time to record a couple hours a day, which I don't have when I'm not working from home, so I enjoy the working from home, right? Hey, coronavirus has done wonders for me and my productivity on the side. And my job is so much more enjoyable because I don't get to wear my fun clothes, but I don't have to put on real pants, and I can Netflix and work, and it's great. I'm happier. But yeah, I mean, there's going to come. Let's just hope the rest of the year stays like this. I am fine with working from home for the rest of the year. Let's be cautious. It'll be great. Anyway, I'm back to being far in advance, but it's still just theoretically, I lost 20 hours. That's a lot of work. But actually, re-recording it, I don't mind doing it at all because I enjoyed playing the game the first time. I'm not mad about doing it again. I'm really not. Even though it's fresh in my mind what happens, I'm still enjoying doing it. It's not like where if I'm redoing it, I'm like, I'm redoing it, and I feel like now I'm slogging through because I have to do it again. And even though I enjoyed it the first time, I don't really want to do it again right away. I don't mind this at all. I'm having a fucking blast redoing it, frankly. So aside from the theoretical stress of it's a lot of work that I lost, and I got to make sure I get to where I'm in a comfortable place so I don't have to stress out about not having stuff ready if something goes wrong or something happens or something comes up or whatever and I can't record, right? And that's just a personal issue, but I'm really I actually really don't mind redoing this whole game because it's really fun to play a second time. So I don't think I could say that about any other games. Now, if I had to do a whole 80-hour game again, I might cry, but like redoing this one, spending another 20 hours redoing the same thing. Cool. All right, fine.
Sorry, someone knocked on my door. So this is like, anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, I will wrap this part up here, and I will see you guys next time, and we will start Jamie's route. So yeah, see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.